Super Earth is not Earth. For those not familiar with Helldivers 2, I'll give a 10-second overview of the game so that we're all on the same page. Helldivers 2 is set in the year 2224 in a place called Super Earth, which at first glance appears to be Earth. About 140 years before that, in 2084, humanity is said to have made first contact with alien life, and since then, they've been at constant war with the aliens out of fear that the aliens will destroy Super Earth. But, based on what we see in the game, this fear is actually unwarranted, and the Helldivers are using this fear as propaganda to conquer the galaxy. That's about it for the lore of the game, but what makes this game so popular is its emphasis on community. Each mission in the game involves you and up to 3 other online players invading liberating the alien planets. The community aspect comes into play when you realize that each planet basically has a health meter that every online player chips away at every time they complete a mission. So the game is a globally distributed tower defense game around Earth, roughly speaking. Now, back to the theory. With the amount of hints that the Helldivers 2 developers give that Super Earth is Earth, all that's left for them is to just outright say that it is. But they never do, and that's been bothering me. To ease my mind, I've been researching through the Helldivers lore to find anything that would indicate a connection to real Earth, but I just can't seem to find the nail in the supposed coffin that would prove that Super Earth is indeed Earth. In fact, I believe I found something that proves that Super Earth is actually not our Earth. But first, before you start mocking me in the comments for overthinking, I'd like to ask you to angrily press the subscribe button as well while you're at it. Now back to the evidence. So the first detail that got me suspicious and kicked this all off was of course the fact that the developers never explicitly state this connection. This of course is not proof, but it does leave the door open for the theory that the two planets are not the same. A more striking piece of evidence is the fact that the solar system that Super Earth is in only has one other planet, and that planet is named Mars. Now, you can't be blamed for believing that Mars is indeed our Mars, which I of course think it is not, but more on that later. What's important here is that the other planets are missing, and that's a big deal. As for why the other planets don't appear, it's not like we can just blame the robots for blowing the other planets up. Super Earth was super dramatic about a supposed cyborg explosion that killed 8 people on Super Earth, so imagine how dramatic they'd be about the robots blowing an entire planet up. I'm sure we wouldn't hear the end of it. To this point, I'd also like to add the fact that the planet Jupiter plays a role in protecting Earth from what are known as long-period asteroids, which can harm Earth. In other words, some planets actually benefit Earth by being around. So, if no one else blew up the planets, and the planets are actually beneficial to Super Earth, then why would they not be there? Maybe because this isn't the solar system that you think it is. Okay, so the solar system being different is one reason that I think Super Earth is not real Earth, but this next reason is what really drives the point home and has me convinced. And that's the fact that in the first Helldivers game, when a round of the Galactic Wars is lost, the High Command says the following: Super Earth has fallen, but we will endure, rebuild our civilization, and eventually we will return. Then, right after this scene, we get another scene showing Super Earth blowing up and stating, "There are many worlds like old Earth, and we will find another where we will put our roots down." Old Earth. Old Earth? We literally see Super Earth getting destroyed, and this guy confirming that there is an old Earth. No matter how hard it is to believe anything I've said so far, it's even harder, no, impossible, to ignore this fact that Super Earth has blown up before. And if you don't know this by now, Helldivers is a global game where everyone actually contributes to the same war. So if you see a game over a screen, everyone else saw it too, and that event is cemented into history. So that alone has me convinced, but I know what some of you are wondering. If Super Earth's always moving around, then why are the planets around it always the same? To which I have an extension to the theory that solves every concern that we've encountered so far. My extended theory is that Super Earth is an idea, and ideas outlive people and places.
You can't destroy what I really am. Even if you manage to kill this body, someone even stronger would surface and take my place.
The fact that the planets, like Mars, are named the same across each iteration of Super Earth is similar to how settlers across history name new lands using old names. Take a look at New York. It's literally named the New York, York being a city in England. In fact, we see this exact same thing in Helldivers. One of the planets is named New Stockholm, of course in reference to Stockholm, Sweden. The best part of this extended theory is that it even gives the developers a backstory for resetting the game. When we see a game over screen, it's not just the devs being like, oh, pretend that never happened. It's actually an event that becomes canonical. One last thing I want to clarify in all this is that I'm not saying Helldivers is a different universe from ours entirely. Super Earth and humanity are indeed all derived from real Earth, or what our commander calls Old Earth. And I'd say this is proven by all the different names and ideas we see in the game, which suggests that the history of the Helldivers is indeed the history of the humans on real Earth. With all that, let's recap what we went over so far. Number 1. The devs never explicitly say that Super Earth is Earth. Number 2. The solar system we're in is not our solar system. And number 3. The evidence to close the case is that we, as a global community, have literally seen Super Earth blow up. Now that I've gotten all of my points across, what do you think? Are you convinced at this reasoning? Let me know in the comments, because I know this is a controversial take, or at least as controversial as such a take about a video game can be. Check out the references, especially the Reddit posts, that I used for the video in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, share, and like the video, please.